Welcome back to the channel, folks. Welcome back to the channel. Boobidle. Folks, that is not Boobidle. That is a construction worker. You're stuck with me, Ben Barbour, and we are down here in the Murfreesboro area. Folks, you already know we're with our friends Auto Collection of Murfreesboro. Their information is on the bottom of the screen. Y'all be sure to go check them out. They are a big supporter of ours, and we do our best to work with them as much as possible, and today is no different. So again, hit them up, check their website out. We would really appreciate it. Today, folks, we got a pretty interesting ride. It's a 2020 Dodge Challenger Scatpak Widebody with the sunroof, which I guess is kind of a rare option on these guys, and it has another rare option which we will get to momentarily. Until then, forgive me for all these train noises. We do have a train departing directly behind us, and I have a feeling the noises should stop at some point, but until then, we're just going to keep on keeping on. I love the look of these things. They are pretty outdated, but they still look awesome, and this widebody is never going to get old. Look at that. Extra 2 or 3 inches hanging off the side, front and rear. Really love it, folks. Really love the look of this wide body. Again, I know it's old and it's outdated, but man, they just appeal to me. And this one specifically appeals to me for what the drivetrain is, which is pretty rare. You definitely don't see it very much. We'll get to that here shortly, but let's start where we normally start and head to the rear of the vehicle. Here's our key. Real fancy, I know. Press it twice. Pop the trunk. Now, one of the things that's interesting about this trunk, as you'll see, is it kind of goes into the bumper. As I lift this up, you'll see that some of the brake lights come with it. So very large, pretty large structure of a trunk there. Big old wing hanging off the top. And here we go. We're inside the trunk. Nashville Cars and Coffee bag for scale. It's sizable, but nothing to call home about. It does have a pretty big entry there, and it looks like there's enough room for a golf bag or two. But yeah, it's just a trunk, so I guess we should probably just move on. Just move on. Now, as we sit here and talk about how old this thing is and the body and the styling, God, just still, from a lot of these angles, look at that shot. I just love the look of this thing. Really cool. All the way down to the fuel filler cap. Big old honking thing hanging off here. Really, honestly, like, I'm a big fan of these rides. I know they're on their way out. I love the fact that they wide-bodied almost every single one. I'm pretty sure you can even get an RT wide-bodied. Now, this is the Scatpak, so it does come with the 392. And some big old Brembo brakes underneath there, as I noticed while driving. Definitely has some pretty decent stopping power, and it needs it because this is a big old girl. This is a big old girl. I think it's almost 4,200, 4,300 pounds. I'm gonna turn my mic on back here so we can hear a little bit of the startup. Door cards, nothing too crazy. Simple stitching down here. This is nice and spongy, and there's a nice little storage area on the back side and on the front, and here for that matter. You got your seats, Scatpak embroidered in. Very simple design on these seats. I do like it, but it's a very simple design. Again, most of this vehicle is kind of a very simple design, somewhat outdated, I guess some of you guys will chirp about. But look at this. See that right there, folks? That's a third pedal. That means this sucker is a manual. Let's get her started up. We'll get a couple revs going, and then we'll circle back to the things we normally do now, folks. Third pedal means you got to push that third pedal in. It is a 6-speed. Y'all can see. Get the sun glare. There it is, focused in. It is a 6-speed. Throw ourselves in neutral. Very nice startup. I'm sure you are hearing how much racket this whole girl is making. It is somewhat warmed up, so I'm going to give it a couple revs, and then we'll shut her down so y'all can hear. Could you desire? I'm gonna shut it down for just a second. What else could you desire in the sound of your daily driver? I mean, that just real raspy. I love the raspiness. Big fan of rasp, I guess. Oh, sorry, hard to maneuver. It is super hot here in the Middle Tennessee area today. Nice little 392 on startup there in the center of your dash. Let the clutch out, get the door closed. Now, if you haven't seen the interior of one of these, it's very basic. One of the things I like is that it does have all these cool apps available, the driver's modes, the performance pages. It loads up here. I love this thing having a manual, honestly. Like, it really is my favorite spec on one of these. I like that they added a really nice digital screen here. Then you still have your old school screens off to the side. Here's your performance pages. It's really not going to do too much. There we go. There's some gauges, some extra gauges for you. I love how this thing, can you see it? Just a little bit of vibration at idle reminds you gotta stick shift. This one does have this sunroof, which I guess is somewhat rare on these models. I do like that it has that sunroof. Very clean dash. This is a couple-year-old car with 16,000 miles on it, but super clean, super driver oriented. As you can kind of see, everything's kind of pointed towards me with this manual, and all these buttons and stuff are kind of pointed towards the driver. I'm not gonna beat this thing apart. You guys, if you're watching this video, you more than likely Googled it because you're interested in it and are interested in one of these. Again, certain design cues. I really love this front lip, wraps all the way around. Cutouts, color match cutouts, really cool. There's another one right there. If I can get this hood up, here we go. There is the power, or the power behind the beast. 392. I'm pretty sure it's good for right around 475 horsepower, something of that nature. Real good amount, similar amount of torque. Very clean, and these are all functional. These vents are all functional. They do actually go through. Overall, she's a good driver, folks, and a manual, which you just don't see in these cars. So it's nice to have one with the 392. I've actually driven a Hellcat manual. I think it did like over 60 miles an hour in first gear. These things are surprisingly easy to drive considering it's a manual. The gearbox does feel good. It's kind of a longer throw, but it does feel good. And like overall, it functions. It gets the job done, is I guess the way to put it. So folks, if you are interested in a cool ride like this, they are few and far between in our future. They will not be selling this vehicle with a manual any longer. 2024, I guess, is the end of these suckers. So if you want to get in on one before prices begin their going up, I guess for the lower mileage models, the prices are probably going to hold pretty good for a while. But I love this thing. If you're interested in it, it's down here at our friends Auto Collection of Murfreesboro. Their information is on the bottom of the screen and or in description please go check them out. I'm gonna turn this sucker off before that train starts screaming our direction. For my man Bo Biddle, who, that's still a construction worker over there, I am Ben Barbour. We will see you guys in the next video.